If you are currently shopping for homeowners insurance, well, this is the segment you want to pay attention to. Joining me today is the president of Ovation Insurance, Joel Dunham. Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. How about you? Thanks for having me.
Good. Yes. Welcome back. I know that so much is happening in the insurance market, and you have some stuff to share with us today. So, homeowners insurance, let's start from the top. What is homeowners insurance, and why is it important?
Basically, it's protection for your house. So your home, your belongings, everything associated with that is going to be found in that policy.
Okay, and everyone that owns a home or even rents a home should have this specific type of insurance, correct?
Well, if you own the home, you want homeowners. If you're renting, then you want renters.
Okay, so even if you're renting a home, it still goes under the renter's home insurance?
Yeah, so there's different, not to get too technical,
Yeah.
but there's different policy forms. And so, owning a home is one policy form and renting is another, and owning a condo is another. So.
Okay, so homeowners insurance applies for if you own your home or a condo. And so people are shopping, they're trying to see what? Like, what are they looking for? The best rate, the best benefits? Break it down for us.
Yeah, so right now what we're seeing is rate increases are tremendously high. There is essentially a 0% chance that your homeowner's rate is going to go down this year. That's just the state of the market that we're in. And so what we have put together here is a list of some things that you can do to maybe even consider before you start shopping, and just make sure that you give yourself the best chance to get the best rate and to not sacrifice any coverage along the way.
Oh, see, that's true, because sometimes they will say, oh, well, you can have a lower rate, but you also have a lower coverage or a lower, or higher deductible or something like that. And so how often does someone change their homeowner's insurance?
So that's kind of changing too, because as an agency, we every year have traditionally reached out to our clients and made sure that everything is as it should be, and if it needs reshopped, then we can do that. And we still do that, but what we're finding is carriers are now surcharging more and more for bouncing carriers too often. And so we're seeing it might make more sense, even with the rate increases, to stay put where you are and adjust internally on your policy. There's always going to be special circumstances, of course, but the first thing you want to do is talk with your agent and make sure, is this something I really want to do based on the price, based on the coverage? If you've got a 15-year-old policy, you may have some things built into that you just can't get anymore.
Right, yes. Things that are grandfathered in, things that you kind of always like to say the longer that you're with the company, sometimes they may say like, oh, you're a value customer. So if something happens, they may treat you right. That's not always, they may.
Right.
And so when you're talking about the surcharge, is this something that the company that you left charges you, or the new company that you're moving to charges you?
It'd be the new one. And yeah, so they're looking at loyalty, and so they're trying to determine, okay, well, what's the likelihood we're going to have a claim, and how long are they going to be here? And so they're factoring all that in. If they look back at your history and find you've been with 3 carriers in the last 5 years, they're going to say, well, there's really no loyalty here, and so they're going to start bumping up the surcharge.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because I think about when you're shopping around trying to get a new rate, you want a better rate. So that's weird that they will start charging for that. So yeah, it kind of makes you more obligated to stay where you are. But as people are shopping, what's a couple of things that they should keep in mind to not have their rate go up a dramatic amount as they're just evaluating their home?
So there's a couple things going on, and roofs are a major concern that we're starting to see. And so starting with your roof, if it's 15 years or older, before you do anything, you're going to want to talk to your agent and make sure, what kind of coverage do I have on this? Because an older policy, you may still have full replacement on that roof, but if you switch to something new, that endorsement may disappear and it's going to be depreciated. Or they may exclude cosmetic damage, which would be like hail hitting your roof that doesn't necessarily damage your house, but that could be excluded. So there's things happening right now in the industry that you need to be aware of before you start jumping around and start shopping.
Right. Okay. And what about, so when you're switching over the new company, do they give you an inspection? Like, do they kind of see the state of your house actually, or is it what you report to them?
Yeah, so that has changed quite a bit in the last few months as well. So what they're doing at the moment is they're doing their own inspections. They're sending their own inspectors out to look at the outside of the house. They're flying drones over to look at the state of your roof. If they have additional questions on that, they may require you to have a contractor out to look in greater detail at what they're seeing on the roof. If they're doing that, then that's probably a sign that, you know, something's up. At least they think there is, and so you need to take a look at that. But sometimes they're even asking you to go inside your house, do a walkthrough, video, photos, and make sure that you've documented what you have. It's not a bad idea anyway, but now it's becoming more of a requirement depending on the carrier and depending on the situation. So there's a lot going on with inspections too, and that's something you're going to want to be aware of, especially if there's going to be a cost to it. Moving forward.
Yeah, so what would be the primary reason someone would switch over? Because it sounds like it would be kind of a hassle if they're going to have to pay a surcharge, perhaps, if they're going to have to go through an inspection and just probably not get the same grandfathered in benefits. Why should someone switch?
Well, there's always going to be special circumstances. We're seeing carriers buy up other carriers or get completely out of the home and auto business. It just depends on the situation. In most circumstances, you're probably going to want to talk with your agent. It may make sense just to stay where you are, but you're not going to know that until you know what you have and know what your situation is, and then find out, yeah, do I need to shop this or do I need to just make changes on my policy as it is?
And so I have to ask you, since you own an insurance company, how do you feel about the monopoly that's out there right now? I mean, I know a lot of people gravitate towards some of the bigger names that's been here for a while. You have an independent insurance. What are some of the benefits that people will seek through your company as opposed to one of the big headliners?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of regional carriers, and so they're going to be paying mostly on claims in the Midwest, so the tornadoes and the flooding and that sort of thing. Whereas a larger national carrier is also going to be paying for the earthquakes in California and the hurricanes in Florida. And sometimes that works out better for the national carriers because they have a broader risk tolerance. But in most cases, or in a lot of cases, you know, I'm biased, of course, but you know, we're not paying for those claims. We're paying for the regional claims. And so a lot of times you'll see the rates are more preferable because we're keeping it localized. So it just depends on the claims that we've had in the last few years and the situation that we're currently in.
Yeah, more targeted. I like that. Well, thank you so much, Joel, for telling us how to shop for homeowners insurance.
Sure, my pleasure.
And if you would like more information about Ovation Insurance, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break.